talking about, how talking about their faith, talking about how awesome they are, talking about who's brought them through. And I just want you to know that I applaud you, I commend you. And you're watching Never Stop Believing with Juanita Ward and Jonathan Lucas. And so I am super excited. Not only is he a basketball player on the court, but he's more of a leader off the court. So talk a little bit about your faith and what has led you to doing what you're doing right now today.
Yeah, so, I grew up in the pretty basic Bible Belt Southern household. My dad was a pastor. My mom was heavily involved in the church.
Yes.
I was in the church whenever the doors were open.
Yes.
And that's how I lived my life from the time I was born until now. That's just how I grew up. And as I grew up in that strong Christian household, I developed the strong Christian morals. But to an extent, it was just kind of like, I'm the pastor's kid. I need to know all the answers in Sunday school, this or that. So I didn't really have that, real relationship yet. I was still just I go to church on Sunday and Wednesdays. I go to all the church camps, but, still didn't have that good, strong relationship. Became a Christian when I was 5 or 6. Probably didn't fully to the extent know what that meant.
Right.
And it took more of the journey of high school and middle school and all that to be okay, this is real. This is what I believe this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And, my faith is a huge aspect of my life.
Yes.
And with my faith, it has bled into every part of my life. It bleeds into my relationships, basketball, how I lead, how I go about my life. And I'm not trying to sit because I'm not the perfect Christian. I make mistakes, I sin, I fall short every single day.
But you don't try to continue to do those things.
I try to move forward and change and really become more like Christ each and every day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing because you're talking to us and you're telling us about your faith and how your faith has become so much stronger. Mm-hmm. And I have to commend you, because you don't hear this from a young person, how they are openly to say that, yes, I fall short. I've made some mistakes. I don't do the right things all the time, but you're striving to do better. You want to do better. Basketball is a huge part of your life, right? Your mom played the game. She was really good at what she did, right? She coached the game. Your dad coached the game from a perspective of giving you the life skills with the Bible, and your mother's a prayer warrior. How has all of that shaped your family?
Yeah, I would say basketball has always been a huge part of my life from the time I was little. It's the sport that I always loved the most. I did everything, but it was the sport that I really enjoyed. And through basketball and through having two strong Christian parents that have led me, taught me how to grow up, taught me how to be a Christian, taught me how to be a man of faith. Through that, it has shaped me into, going into the basketball and realizing, if something doesn't go your way, you keep going at it and you keep believing.
So you learn those tough things.
Yeah, and you learn those things through, having a faith and reading about people in the Bible like David or Joshua or whoever that, they went through some stuff to get to the place that they're at. So you have to constantly be reminded that, it might not go your way for the first 4 years, but that 5th year can change your life.
Come on. So what happened in your life? Mm-hmm. Bible has shaped this. Your family has shaped this. Your faith has shaped this. You've been through some things in your life where you've never stopped believing, and it's caused you some pain. Sometimes it's caused you some heartaches. I can sure tell you a lot that I've been through, but I'm still standing. Can you talk a little bit about those times where you never stopped believing?
Yeah, so my basketball journey is probably not the most traditional in an extent. Always played basketball. That's what I love to do. Got to high school, started working out with Omar Carter, NBA hoops, playing AAU. Started becoming a good basketball player. Yes. But with that, in those early freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school, when you're figuring out who you are, my identity became the game of basketball. That's what I thought, if I go out and score a lot of points, that makes me worthy of someone being proud of me. And so I was at JA for the first, that's all I knew. It was from kindergarten until 10th grade. I was at JA and, became wrapped up in basketball. That's who I was. And my mom ends up taking the job to come to Hartfield. And I was, open to a change. I'd prayed about it, felt like God was leading me here. And I come here and, everything on surface is still fine. Basketball is my thing.
Right.
I'm way too focused on basketball. Like, that's all I care about. If I'm good at basketball, I can get this college offer, and then I'm going to be fulfilled, and then I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to have that, and everything's going to be okay, was my mindset.
Okay.
And in this time of my life, I was religious, but I didn't have that real relationship with God.
Come on, wait a minute. Wait. You said that you was religious, but you didn't have the relationship. Religious versus the relationship. So what changed that you switched from having the carnal mind to now having the relationship, the love for God?
It really took me getting through my freshman year of college at McNeese to realize it's not going to fulfill you.
Right.
And, my whole dream, my entire life, I want to play Division I basketball.
Right.
So all throughout high school, if I do this, I'll get this offer, and then I'll be happy.
Right.
And I did that, and I got that offer, and I wasn't happy.
Right.
And I was like, okay, whatever. Made it to Division I basketball. This was all I've ever wanted. We were playing TCU, LSU, everything I've ever dreamt of and thought that is what I wanted and what was going to make me happy. And I get there, and off the gate, I realized, okay, I'm not as good as I thought I was. There's 23-year-olds that have played a lot more Division I basketball that are a lot better than me. So I realized I wasn't going to play. And so now I'm in this situation. I made it to my dream.
Sure.
But I'm not fulfilled. And I just feel
Something
like
was
something's
still
missing.
Yeah.
And I have that groundedness from my parents of I was still going to church. I was doing the things, but I just didn't have that relationship. I had that groundedness. And there was just a point where I was, realizing that this wasn't who I was.
Sure.
I'd gotten way too wrapped up in an orange ball.
Sure.
And I'd end up praying, really talking to some of my mentors like David Horner, Steve Magibson, some of those people, just talking about where my head was at. And, the verse that constantly would come up was just Colossians 3:2, and it's to set your mind on God and not things of the world.
Come on.
And it just kind of clicked that my entire life to that point, I was setting my worth, setting my identity, setting my positives into the things of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could get that offer,
Yes.
if I could score that many points, if I could get this many playing time, then I would be happy. And whenever I achieved those things, I realized I'm not happy like I thought I would be.
Yes.
My fulfillment can't come from something of the world. It can only come from God.
You make me think about this. You make me think about this scripture. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Yeah.
What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? If you could talk to the people, I want you to encourage someone right now, because you've gained so much. And you've realized your identity is not the ball. That's just a gift.
Yeah.
And the gift makes room for you. You've been through so much thus far in just your little short years of living, but you've learned so much. Charge someone, encourage someone on how they can become better.
Yeah, so I'll talk to players coming up, want to get to that Division I level, college level, NBA, whatever your dream is, and even to the more extent of it, I want to talk to everybody that has a dream or a passion or something they want to achieve. Those things aren't a bad thing. Wanting to be good at basketball is not a bad thing. Wanting to be a successful businessman is not a bad thing. Wanting to make a lot of money to provide for your family is not necessarily a bad thing. But the truth of the matter is when you become so focused and so wrapped up in that thing, and it becomes like an obsession, an addiction, it becomes your idol, it becomes your God, that's when you start having issues. And I'm still not perfect at this. There's going to be times this season where I have a bad game and I'm thrown off a little bit and I'm wrapped up in that. But you have to remind yourself, you're a child of God. You're worth more than a basketball. You're worth more than a paycheck. You're worth more than a fancy car. Those things, sure, they're great, but at the end of the day, what's great is where you're going to be at when you die. If you're going to be in heaven or if you're going to be in hell. Because that's ultimately what matters.
Wow. You mentioned something there. It's not about the accolades. It's not about the big fancy titles. What it's truly about is where you're going to be. Where you're going to be.
Yeah.
God has a plan. And if we don't realize that the accolades are not going to get us there, the end result won't be the best result. You've made championships. You've won championships.
Yeah.
You've asked for those goals. You've settled for those goals. You've bled for those goals. You've put in hard work for those goals. You've had so many people to train you. You've had so many people to speak life into you. But you still had to go out and fulfill that. And now you say, because you went through the process, you went through the ups, the downs, the bangs and the bruises, you're a much better person now. You've went through the challenges of transferring. You've went through the mindset, the mental toll that it took on your mind. How are you much better now for Belhaven?
I think being through the things that I have experienced with basketball, I've experienced with life, the mistakes that I've made, the decisions, ultimately I think that experience, God has called me to be able to share that with other people and to be that leader, mentor like I had, and people like David Horner, Steve Megamson, those people that, really built me up when I was going through a bad time. Now when I feel like I'm about to be a senior in college, I want to go invest in a freshman, and I want to tell them, hey, maybe don't go to that party we have 8 a.m. practice tomorrow.
That's right.
Or, hey, maybe go get in the gym instead of going and taking a nap.
That's right.
Or, hey, look, I know you're not playing a lot, and I know it's hard because you were just the man at your high school, but just keep working and working hard, and God still loves you.
Right.
Like this playing, I know we all want to play, but you're bigger than a basketball.
Yes.
And I think God has put me through those challenges and allowed me to make mistakes and go down certain paths and things to see doors close and open and realize this whole journey has crafted me and to be able to, try to help lead other people and help just be there for them. Because the biggest thing that I needed when I was going through that, and I just needed someone to be there for me and to help me and to talk me through it and to tell me that I was loved. And that's just the biggest thing that I needed.
Yes. You make a great point. If you don't have that support system in your corner, you're young, you're growing up, you're trying to figure life out. You've put your success in the basketball. The basketball in return has opened up many doors for you. You've put your respects on the court. You've left your name. You've won titles. You've won all types of things. But you still realize that it isn't the ball that's going to get you the ultimate success. And it's the support that's going to tell you how much they love you, how much they care for you. Keep pushing, keep going. I've been through this before. I've gotten knocked down. Here's how you get out of it. Here's how you make have a better mindset. I want you to know something, that no matter what you go through in your life, you can never stop believing. When you put in the time to make your mind become just what God wants it to be, and when you follow after His word, if you're playing sports, if you're in business, if you're leading an organization, if you're leading a church, if you're in the stands, there's something greater than just the accolades of a piece of paper. There's something greater than just the accolades of getting a pat on the back. It's a support that's around you that unifies and brings us together. And Jonathan, I have to commend you, man. You are a leader. And to go through the things that you've gone through, to not be all out of whack, but to purposely, on purpose, say, my reality is not in the basketball, my identity is in Jesus Christ. I gotta commend you. Because that's huge. In return, I believe that God says that He's gonna open up a door and just flood you with multiple things, multiple blessings, because you took a stand. What does that mean? Like, I'm fired up. What does that mean, that you've taken a stand? Yeah, you're still playing basketball. Yeah, you're still on the court. Yes, you still getting buckets. I might take that ball out your hand in a few minutes. I've been itching over there to come grab it, man. But what does that mean to you, man? Like, how are you going to take this into, Belhaven, and how are you going to help the young fellas that are coming in, that are freshmen, and now you're an upperclassman? How are you going to take these same characteristics, these same traits, these same standards, your core values? How are you going to put that into your team right now?
Yeah, I mean, right now I have about 9 months guaranteed left of basketball. I don't know what God holds for me after this season, but I know that I have 1 season left.
That's right.
I don't know what the season is going to hold for me, but what I do know is that I want to win a championship, because at the end of the day, that's like the biggest thing that matters to me when it comes to basketball is winning. And with the experiences that I've gone, with the things that I've seen, I won a championship in high school. I've been on losing teams in college. I've been on good teams in college. We made it to the championship game last year. So with these experiences, with these things that God has shown me, the biggest thing that I want to do is come in as this senior leader and be able to invest into these younger guys and, show them the principles that are needed to be a good college basketball player and be a winning college basketball player. But even bigger than that, if we don't win a single game this year, but I'm able to go into the locker room and invest in these younger guys and show them that life is bigger than basketball and that they have a purpose outside of basketball, that is the biggest thing that I care about. Just, I feel like everyone has a call to be a witness for, God. And the biggest thing that I want to do is just to be that person they can look to, because I don't know their background. They might not have grown up in a strong Christian household like I can. But I want people to be able to look at me and be like, hey, there's something different.
Yes.
And people were not always able to do that.
Right.
In locker rooms in high school, my freshman year, they were probably like, oh, like he just cares about basketball and, does like whatever. Like all he wants to do is win. Like he's not speaking life into me. He's speaking like quit missing layups, quit like. And I've realized as I've matured, hey, I need to change my approach because what ultimately matters, yes, I want to win every game I can.
Absolutely.
But if I can make someone a better person, if I can witness to them and build them up,
absolutely,
that's what matters to me.
Leaders build character. Character wins championships. Leaders build characters. Characters win championship. Leaders build character. Character wins championship. You're a leader. Your character is going to give the sauce that you need. Your coaches are looking for players that are hungry, that are going to be disciplined, that are going to be accountable, that are going to be responsible. Can you talk to the players? Not just your players, but just be that voice. Tell them how important it is to be disciplined. Tell them how important it is to be a leader. Tell them how important it is to be accountable and responsible all the time.
Yeah, I'll say the biggest thing that I've seen over my 4 years in college now is if you want to make it, if you want to be great, if you want to be one of the best players, you have to be disciplined and you have to work hard. It's not high school anymore. Good players in high school can do the bare minimum and still go drop 20. Can't do that in college. If you do that, you will not play. So my biggest advice is work your tail off. Incoming freshmen, work your butt off. If you're in high school, work your butt off. Be the first one to the gym. There are so many people that I've seen that are so talented, but they're the last one in the gym for practice and the first one to leave. And the ceiling is untapped for them if they would just buy in and give that hard work. And when it comes to a coach, you're not always going to agree with every single coach that you have.
Absolutely.
You're going to have disagreements. That's life. Absolutely. At the end of the day, you just have to say, you know what? Yes, sir, and give them that respect. Absolutely. And play hard. Absolutely. Because if you play hard, things are going to work out.
Absolutely. J-Rock, you've been through a lot, man. You've overachieved. Sometimes in your book, you've probably underachieved. But the purpose is that the goal is still the same. Your goal is you want to make it to heaven. By any means necessary, you want to make it to heaven. God has given you an opportunity with the rock, with the ball. That's your gift. And your gift is making room for you. You've never stopped believing in your life. You've never stopped believing in the things that you have done. Why are you so successful? Now, I want you to listen to that question.
Okay.
Why are you so successful? Why are you so successful?
The only answer, and it should be the only answer for everybody, is God. I would not be the basketball player I am today without God. I would not have the opportunities I've had without God opening doors. I would not have experienced things, seen things, come into contact with people without God. God, before I was born, had a plan for my life, and that plan for my life was involved in the sport of basketball. Am I going to go to the NBA? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know if I'm good enough. But ultimately, God is still going to use basketball as not my purpose, but my platform. I think a lot of times that gets mixed up. God has given me this sport and given me these experiences to go to invest in other people. Right now, I'm about to go into my senior year of college basketball, and I haven't won a championship yet. So some people would say, oh, he technically hasn't been successful. And to an extent, I can agree with that because I really like to win. But success is about what you leave behind when you're done. And it's about what you're going to, invest into people and what people are going to remember you as. Like, if you ask me who won the 2008 NBA Finals,
right.
If you let me think for a minute, I can probably remember it. But if you ask me, talk about Kobe Bryant, man, his mentality,
sure.
That's the thing that you remember. And
sure.
that's what I want people to, see me as, oh, man, he wasn't always perfect. He made mistakes. He fell short. He sinned. But he was trying, and he was trying to, be the best Christian he could be every single day. He was trying to invest God into others. And it took me time to get to that place. But through my college journey, I think I've reached there. Yeah.
I was over here trying not to cry because there was so much compassion when you said that it's God. Mm-hmm. It's God. Mm-hmm. Nobody else but Jesus. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you so much. Mm-hmm. This isn't the end, man. Success is not defined in the accolades. Mm-hmm. Success is defined in your character. When you continue to live life on purpose, for purpose, the way God needs you to be, you're going to go through some things. Never stop believing. Never throw the towel in. The towel goes in, you go in there, grab it, and you get back up. The more you fall, stand back up. So many people are falling down, but they won't get back up. If you can just take what you have, the things that have caused you so much pain, turn those into your success. Remember this, all things work together for the good of those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. I am overly grateful, completely joyed. You have a compassion beyond your reach. I want you to win a championship so bad.
So do I.
Just so that I can come into the gym and be like, that's my boy. Yep. Right?
That's
I want you to win bad. But you know what? I want you to make it to heaven more than I want you to win that championship.
Exactly.
Because we both gonna be flying in heaven, dunking on folks. And you better throw me an alley, I'm gonna throw you one back.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's all because your love for the game of basketball and how, most importantly, how you never stop believing. I'm going to give you the last few minutes. Encourage someone. And if I was you, I'll hold on to that ball because I really feel like I'm about to go dunk it. I'm itching. But encourage someone, man, because they really need it, man.
Yeah, whoever I'm talking to, I just want to remind you that you might feel like your back's against the wall, that you're in the deepest of valleys and there's no way you can get out of it. But I've been there. I've felt those things. I've experienced pain. I've experienced suffering. I've experienced, I don't know what to do, God. Why have you put me in this situation? But what I can promise you is God is always good. God blesses us through our sufferings. It says in Scripture that without suffering, there could be no joy. So through your sufferings, you're going to find joy. God's going to lift you out of that valley. He's going to use those sufferings for the glory of God, whatever that means. So I would just say, never stop believing, keep your faith, keep your eyes on God, and at the end of the day, he's going to deliver you from whatever you feel like you're going against.
J. Lou, Jonathan Lucas, child of God, my brother in Christ, I love you so much, man.
Yes, ma'am.
I love you so much. Keep your eyes following after Christ. Your mother and your father has taught you well. Now you have to go on and disciple somebody else. The ball is always going to be there. But the life that you see for the next 9 months, you may not get a chance to see those people again because they're going to go off and do their thing.
Yep.
As much as you talk it, you got to walk it. Keep never stop believing. Keep striving. Keep going. I know this to be true, that God says that he has a plan for your life, plans of good and not of evil to give you a future and a hope. Yep. And I'm so grateful to call you my brother, to call you my friend. I'm going to be watching you, man.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been watching Never Stop Believing with Juanita Ward and Jonathan Lucas, and I am so excited to have you guys with us. Until next time.
Now I got to dunk first.
What?
I got a dunk first.
Are you serious? Boom! We'll see you, man. God bless.